Like I said, there was an adverse finding in the VADA test. The British Boxing Board of Control statement, which was just to say, at the moment, we do not prohibit this bout.
All right, so stop it with the bullshit that we still got on settle.
You know why I'm backing around? Because a lot of boxing is going at him. When we fought, we made it cool, not saying like, but we...
Teo Lopez pulls out of a Shakur Stevenson fight after a reported failed drug test, and it's a complete disaster for his reputation. Just days before the fight, Lopez withdraws because he failed multiple drug tests, leaving fans and the boxing world stunned. The boxing world was stunned. Stevenson, disciplined and focused, now looks even sharper in contrast, while Lopez exposes himself as reckless and unprofessional. A career-defining moment has turned into public humiliation, showing the world that hype and talent mean nothing when you can't even make it to the ring clean. 8.
They've found substances in him. You know, if they want to go that route, I think it's really a low-rated way to do it, you know?
Eddie Hearn confirms that Nevada flagged an adverse finding in Teofimo Lopez's test, but the fight hasn't been officially prohibited yet. Lawyers are now scrambling to sort out the situation, leaving Lopez in a major credibility crisis. Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson stands untouched, disciplined, and ready, while Lopez's last-minute pullout exposes him as reckless.
The statement he's actually saying is that we're not sanctioning this fight. There's ongoing conversations with the lawyers, and
Johnny Nelson raises a sharp eyebrow at Topikian SP's shocking pullout, hinting that there's more going on behind the scenes than meets the eye. Fans are stunned. What appeared to be a high-stakes, clean fight has now turned into chaos. Lopez's decision not only undermines his reputation but also puts Shakur Stevenson in a strange position. Forced to navigate uncertainty while maintaining his focus, the boxing world is buzzing with speculation music, and Lopez's credibility is taking a serious hit.
No, but that's really, really rattled him for him to think of and plan doing something like that.
Devin Haney highlights the real danger Teo Lopez brought into the ring by taking substances to boost performance. It's not just about unfair advantage. These actions put every fighter at serious risk. Shakur Stevenson was preparing for a clean, disciplined bout, and Lopez's choices undermine the integrity and safety of the sport. Fans and analysts are shocked that someone chasing big fights would jeopardize themselves and their opponent. Music, showing a reckless disregard for boxing's rules and ethics.
When a guy is taking in performance enhancement drugs, it's just it's dangerous. It's dangerous for the
Gervant Diva's defense of Lopez only adds fuel to the fire as questions mount about how quickly the test results appeared. The timing makes it clear something was amiss, and fans are left doubting Lopez's honesty. In contrast, Shakur Stevenson's camp remains focused and disciplined, showcasing the stark difference in professionalism. Lopez's credibility is collapsing publicly, and the boxing community is united in disappointment.
You see how serious why didn't it take 72 hours for the test to come back, right?
It came back after the fight, yeah.
Right. So why ain't come out?
Eddie Hearn's blunt assessment leaves no room for doubt. Lopez is guilty until proven otherwise. And in this case, the evidence speaks volumes. There's no wiggle room when substances are involved. And Hearn stresses that the sport's integrity comes first. Shakur Stevenson, the rightful disciplined athlete, is now overshadowed by Lopez's recklessness. Fans are furious, and analysts agree that these actions tarnish both Lopez's reputation and the fight itself.
we have performance-enhancing drugs in his system. I believe everybody should have the right to protest their innocence. Unfortunately, in this situation, it's guilty until proven innocent. I've been there, right? But one thing we 100% know.
Gareth Davies points out just how serious Lopez's situation is. Aspirin isn't a minor substance. It's banned for a reason and has significant effects on muscle growth. For a fighter like Tipo to have it in his system ahead of a high-profile clash with Shakur Stevenson shows blatant disregard for rules. This scandal undermines the sport and damages his reputation. Music. Instantly.
If you've got it in your system, it's in there. Aspirin has been banned on the World Anti-Doping Agency list, Andy, since 2008. It's a very serious drug. It creates lean muscle mass.
Gareth Davies points out just how serious Lopez's situation is. Aspirin isn't a minor substance. It's banned for a reason and has significant effects on muscle growth. For a fighter like Teofimo to have it in his system ahead of a high-profile clash with Shakur Stevenson shows blatant disregard for rules. This scandal undermines the sport and damages his reputation instantly.
I just think it's a bad look for boxing. I mean, no matter who did it, but to be in a fight of this magnitude, and first, I thought he fooled everyone by just playing crazy.
George Kambosos doesn't hold back in his reaction to Teofimo Lopez failing his drug tests. This isn't just a minor slip-up. Having banned substances in your system before a major fight is a serious breach of integrity. It paints Lopez as reckless and unprofessional, completely undermining the sport. Fans, fighters, and promoters all see this as a blatant attempt to cheat, and it severely tarnishes his reputation. At this level, there's no room for excuses. Lopez's actions are inexcusable and demand accountability.
This goes through and it goes to VADA. It's going to VADA. It ain't going to get mixed up. So he's done this, and if he's cheated, he's a piece of shit.
Jim Lampley emphasizes the credibility of VA and their role in keeping boxing clean. Their testing is thorough, scientific, and reliable, leaving no room for doubt. Both A and B samples coming back positive for banned substances show clear evidence of wrongdoing. Music. Teofimo Lopez now faces the undeniable consequences of his choices, and the sport must enforce strict measures. This is a serious warning to all fighters. Attempts to gain an unfair advantage are unacceptable, and integrity in boxing comes first. Music first.
Basic response is VADA doesn't lie. VADA's for real. VADA's a legitimate scientific research organization. They have done a great job of helping boxing to clean up performance-enhancing drug policy.
Stephen Espinoza points out the chaos that erupts online after news like this breaks. Social media explodes with opinions, rumors, and outrage, often amplifying the scandal. For Lopez, this isn't just about failing a test. It's the global scrutiny and backlash that follows. Fans dissect every detail, comparing him to disciplined fighters like Shakur Stevenson. The hype turns into criticism, and Teofimo's reputation takes a major hit. In today's digital age, a mistake of this magnitude is instantly magnified, showing how one poor decision can dominate the conversation in boxing communities worldwide.
Social media is going, absolutely crazy. And usually that does correlate to big pay-per-view, but not always. Because there are a lot of times where people are just talking about craziness around a fight.
Johnny Nelson questions the logic behind Teofimo Lopez's actions, highlighting the irresponsibility of taking substances that could linger in your system. At this level of competition, fighters are expected to maintain peak integrity and discipline. By risking a positive test, Lopez jeopardized not only his fight, but also his credibility and legacy. Fans and experts alike see this as reckless behavior that undermines trust in the sport. Compared to disciplined champions like Shakur Stevenson, Lopez's choice is baffling and damaging, reinforcing the message that cheating or shortcuts carry serious consequences in professional boxing.
I'm going to be rooting for him going forward. I expect to be ringside as his next fight and cheering for him just like, I have been for the last 5 or 6 years.
What's your thoughts on the Turk Ali sheet?
Adil Adipo's reaction highlights just how shocking Teofimo Lopez's failed test is. Suggesting there might be some other means seems almost laughable given the severity of the situation. In reality, Lopez has put himself in an incredibly awkward position, facing global scrutiny and massive criticism. There's no excuse for banned substances appearing in a fighter system before such a high-profile bout. While some may try to defend him, the facts are clear. He jeopardized the fight, his reputation, and the trust of fans and the boxing community. Compared to a disciplined and clean fighter like Shakur Stevenson, Lopez's actions seem reckless and irresponsible, and the fallout from this decision will follow him for the rest of his career. Accountability is unavoidable here.
If it's somehow in his system from other means, I know that might sound crazy, but I guess we have to give him the benefit of the doubt, do we? I'd like to think we do. But yeah, this is wild. Honestly, this...
Adam Smith emphasizes the sheer shock of the news. Failing a cocaine test is not something easily dismissed. For a fighter on the world stage, this is catastrophic, not just professionally, but personally. The revelation raises serious questions about preparation, judgment, and the legitimacy of Lopez as a contender. Fans expected a competitive, clean fight with Shakur Stevenson, but now the narrative has completely shifted. Lopez's actions not only damage his credibility but also risk his entire career trajectory. In boxing, discipline and integrity are paramount, and violating anti-doping rules is seen as a major betrayal to the sport. This failure will dominate headlines and fan conversations for weeks.